That's just your boy Day back out with another video. And today, guys, I know last week, or maybe not last week, a couple days ago, we did a Anthony Davis trading, or not really Anthony Davis trade, but trading everybody on the Dallas Mavericks except for Cooper Flag. And today, I just want to talk about some Anthony Davis trade packages that I think would be like honestly good. You know what I'm saying? Good trade packages uh for literally the Mavericks here. And I mean, really the other team as well. It's got to be something that's doable, right? Which is why me trading Anthony Davis for Lauri Markkanen and one first isn't really possible in my opinion. I don't think that the Mavericks would do that. I think we'd have to get. Well, matter of fact, we're going to get into that. So this is all the possible trade scenarios in my head. The first one is we go to the Sixers and we pick up Paul George, and we get. Not a second. I thought that was a first. We get the Clippers 2028 first, as apparently we can't. So they have no draft picks to use except for a bunch of seconds. So yeah. But Paul George is somebody that we could trade for and maybe get somebody like Quentin Grimes, who's on a low contract that could actually help out the team, or even Jared McCain. And in this, you get power forward. I mean, this is a win now team. Joel Embiid is 31. He's not going to be good for too much longer. Let's be honest. I mean, I think once he hits 33, I think he's really going to be done for. Just going to be a little Marcus Aldridge who has a lot of basketball to play, but isn't really the same person, right? You got VJ Edgecombe here, so you really don't need Jared McCain. When you got Tyrese Maxey, you got VJ Edgecombe in the two. You have Quentin Grimes, and you would take Jared McCain, who would pair up with Wemby, or not Wemby, pair up with Cooper Flag just fine. And yeah, so that's something to think about. Another team is the Bulls. I like a couple of Bulls trades here. I've seen Vooch and Kobe White, I think would honestly be good. If we look at that, if we're just trying to match up the contracts, 12 mil, it's 30 mil, so we need at least like somebody like Kevin Herter, honestly. And yeah, we'd have to give back. I think realistically, you can give back like one player, somebody like a Jaden Hardy or a Brandon Williams, somebody like that. You can give back and then make this a valid trade. I know it says invalid because of too many players, but you could definitely release a player, especially like, let's see what we got here, like Miles Kelly, keep Ryan Nembhard, or Wesson Cease, or I don't want to trade away or get away Powell, but yeah, you do that, and then I'll do a future first, like a 2028 first. I feel like would be good. I feel like this trade benefits both teams. I mean, you still get to keep Josh Giddey, Kobe White. I mean, Kobe White's been out, for the year already. You got Giddey already doing well. Vucevic is doing good, but you're upgrading that spot when you get Anthony Davis, a whole 10 overall upgrade to be exact. And then Kobe White, like I said, he is, if I had to guess, not going to progress anymore, but he is pretty solid for what he is now. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Herter's just, a product of who has to go with him. And then we'd have to give away somebody like another point guard. You could take D'Lo. You could take, I wouldn't want to take or give away Max Christie, but you can get D'Lo. You can get Jaden Hardy. I think any of those options would be good. Another trade proposal that I think would be good is I've seen some people say the Celtics would want Anthony Davis, and I just don't see this in the world happening. I was watching AM Hoops, and love his videos, but he was saying that the Celtics would possibly want him, and I just don't see that happening like at all. I mean, like if we think about this, Tatum plays the power forward for right now. All right, small forward, shooting guard, point guard, point guard. Anthony Simons usually plays the point guard for them. All right. If we take, let's say, like they already traded away Kristaps, right? Anthony Davis doesn't want to play center. He wants to play power forward. That means you'd have to move Derek White in a trade, which I'm not sure how much the Mavericks are really going to want Derek White, because the Mavericks, if I'm being honest, they need to like tank a little bit, you know, be just good enough to be right outside the play-in, like an 11th seed for this year because they got their own pick. And then after that, they can start trying to be good. But other than that, I just don't see this happening. I mean, Derek White and maybe like, do they even have any good picks? They have a 2027 first, which is probably going to be good. They got their 2026 first, which is probably going to be good for this year. So I'd get like the 2026 first and Derek White for Anthony Davis. And I think that is possible. You move Tatum back down to small forward, move Jaylen Brown back down to a shooting guard, and, still have like no center depth, but you get a power forward that can protect the rim good. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, do with that what you will. That's not a trade I would necessarily do. Something that I see happening is a Clippers trade. I can see something like John Collins and somebody else, really. It could be anybody. It could be Zubac and John Collins because they got Brook Lopez coming off the bench, which I know he's not playing extremely well. But I could see something like this because John Collins, his position is just going to get upgraded, and we could do something like give him back really anybody like this, right? Get Dante Exum, give him Dante Exum. You get Anthony Davis to upgrade your power forward spot, and then you have Brook Lopez off the bench for giving you Dante Exum or somebody else like that. I honestly see this trade working out. Throwing a pick. They have a swap worst. I have a swap worst with the Sixers. I would take this pick. It says it can't be. So maybe like the 2031st. Honestly, I could see that happening. Do I think it's the best trade in the world? No. There's only two trades that I really love for both teams, honestly. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. I don't think Memphis would want them. Okay, so the Atlanta Hawks, all right. I've seen two different trades that I would like to speak on right now. It's basically trading for Trae Young straight up, which you need a new contract, and I don't know uh, how exactly he would feel about re-signing with the team that's not going to be good for maybe the next couple of years. And you got Kristaps Porzingis here. So the way I would look at it, uh, if I'm the Mavericks, I would try to get Kristaps Porzingis and Onyeka Okongwu. Okay, that way you're getting two centers, which not Kristaps, Onyeka Okongwu can play the four, and I wouldn't be too mad at it. He could be a backup for uh for Coop, or if you want to have Coop play the small forward for this year, maybe move him to the power forward next year. That works too. But do that, and then I would say like no picks, because Atlanta's picks are going to be very. If I had to guess, 2029. If everything goes good with this team, I think this is going to be a good pick, right? I think overall the Atlanta's picks that they have aren't the best. You got to trade best with the Timberwolves, eh? You got to trade best with the Pels. That's going to be good. Uh, that pick would be absolutely amazing to get. Do I think they're going to get it for Anthony Davis? No, I don't. So Onyeka Okongwu and Kristaps would probably be good. Kristaps on a 1 year, and Onyeka Okongwu you're gonna have for three. And maybe you could throw in like 2 seconds. Maybe you could throw in a second here and a second here just to get some future draft capital. But honestly, I don't know how well that trade would work. It just depends on like Trae Young, Anthony Davis duo. Like when healthy, that is going to be something you could look at and be like, yeah, that I think that's something good. Uh, Also, I've seen this a lot. Or not even seen this thought about this a lot was pairing Lamelo with Anthony Davis. And I know it's like two injury-prone stars, but like, hey, if they're healthy at the same time, it could work. Miles Bridges and somebody else for salary cap, so probably like Colin Sexton, right? And we would trade away like Brandon Williams, can't for the 1.3 million salary, some shit. Yeah, like it would work in real life. Trust and believe it would work in real life because like you can't trade away uh G League players, but it would work in real life. That 1.3 million would be paid indefinitely, right? And then like 2027 Hornets pick, like I don't think the Hornets would give up their 2026 just because like hey, you don't know how this squad's gonna be without Miles Bridges, and maybe with Anthony Davis coming, he might get injured. You know, let's not trade our 2026 pick away. Let's trade a 2027 first, and we give them Miles Bridges, Colin Sexton, and we got a lot of draft capital, so we'll give them a 2028 first as well. Something like this. You get two picks. You get how old is Colin Sexton? He's not that old, right? Colin Sexton is like 28 now. I'm thinking about it. He's 26, right? And he's not that old. You'd have him for 1 year, and then Miles Bridges you have for 2 years. You could definitely trade him away or do whatever. He'd be a backup four behind Coop whenever you move him to the four spot. This is a trade that I'm looking at right here, and it's Lauri Markkinen, straight up Lauri Markkinen for the 2026. Damn it, the 2026 Jazz first, okay, and then a 2027 Jazz first. Boom. I would do this trade for maybe both teams. You get Anthony Davis, who you think could possibly make your lineup go farther, and you get at least one first pick. I mean, if even if you don't want to do this, another way I'd do it would be to try to get like this second round pick from the Jazz, and then this Clippers first, or this Clippers second. Because like honestly, you're getting a good star in Lauri Markkinen. He might not be good for too much longer. He is like he's 28, right? So he should be good to about 33. So yeah, do this, do the trades. I think you're good. And now we're going to go. So that's the first trade. Lauri Markkinen and like their 2026 first. They got Keontae George. They got Walker Kessler. They got people that's not going to make the playoffs. Let's just be honest here. All right. Um, then I could see, surprisingly enough, I could see a Lakers trade. I just don't think it happens this year. I think next year, once LeBron retires, I could see the Lakers going out and signing somebody big in the offseason and then trading away whoever that person is that they just signed. Maybe it's somebody like Chris Tapps or somebody like that, right? Pair Luca and Chris Tapps back together, and they do Anthony Davis for Chris Tapps and a future first, right? Or two future firsts, and you pair up Luka Doncic with AD. Like Luka Doncic and AD, along with Austin Reeves being a good player. Honestly, I think it's a good team to watch. You know, just being honest. Do I think it's like the best team in the world? No, but like just saying, you have Anthony Davis and you have Luka Doncic on the same team. Pretty sure that team is going to be at least be a top five seed in the conference, right? I don't see the Magic doing anything. They're on a slowly but surely we're going to win eventually type timeline. I mean, all their stars are 27 and younger, right? So I think they're good for the most part. I mean, really, it looks like almost all their players are 27 and younger. Tyus Jones is 29. I think he might be the oldest player on the team. Yeah, Tyus Jones is 29. He's the oldest player on the team. So yeah, you definitely got you don't have much to look like not look forward to, but you don't have much to look on and be like, oh, this team is shit. No, you have Desmond Bain, who's going to be on contract for the next 4 years and is going to be good for at least the next 5, 6 years, right? Jalen Suggs is going to be good for about 10 years, 10 years, 10 to 12 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely got some guys on here, and Magic are going to be good in the future. Now, I could see a trade happening as funny and odd, I guess, as it is. I could see a trade happening where the Brooklyn Nets try to like blow it all up and they trade away Michael Porter Jr. and like one future first. Do I think it's enough to try to get Anthony Davis? Not really. Especially because they don't have any first round picks till 2029 of their own, right? I'll take that back. They have this Rockets pick swap worse the Nets. That would be a good pick because it's Brooklyn. They're shit, right? You know. Anyways, you got something to look forward to in that. And let's see where are we at. We can go back here. So Nets, Nuggets, no. Pacers, no. Pels, yes. I have a theory. I have it. Well, not really a theory. I have a trade scenario where it's the Mavericks that do this, just for some pause on this, but some young guys. They try to get Jeremiah Fears and or Derek Queen and somebody else to fill out the salary cap, sorry, to fill out the salary cap. Somebody like DeJounte Murray, and I think the trade could happen. I think you do DeJounte Murray, and I would do Jeremiah Fears because I like Jeremiah Fears for the Mavs, and you can give back. Even Max Christie would honestly be a good trade because I mean they're getting rid of a good point guard. Actually, I take that back. Max Christie would not be a good trade away. I mean, you're getting Anthony Davis here. What the hell? I mean, you'd have to move Zion to like the small forward, which he could play the small. Don't get me wrong, he could definitely play the small. And we get a 2028 Pelicans first. Boom, two young stars here. It's somebody just to fill up the salary cap. I think this trade honestly isn't bad at all. Um, I think the Pels would say no, if anything, because like they don't want to give up Jeremiah Fears. Maybe they like Jeremiah Fears. I know for a fact they like Jeremiah Fears. They want him to be the future, and not the future of the organization, then close to it. I could see the Detroit Pistons trying to trade away Tobias Harris, Isaiah Stewart, in a future first. I could definitely see that happening because Isaiah Stewart's a center, right? Do Isaiah Stewart, Tobias Harris, and definitely two future firsts. Now I'm thinking about it. Uh, the Pistons are like the first seed right now, so I try to get like the 2028 first and like a like a 2028 first and maybe like the 2027 first. These two picks, and you do this trade exactly. Anthony Davis, Dante Exum, Isaiah Stewart, Tobias Harris, two future firsts. Maybe throw in instead of a future first here, you could throw in somebody like Jaden Hardy, or not Jaden Hardy, Jaden Ivey, because he is a young player. He's 23. I love Jaden Ivey. To be honest with you, man, like I really do love his game. I think the Pistons would be willing to give him up here off the straight fact that you know they're upgrading a big spot for them, which power forward spot. They're gonna have a big three, kind of like almost a big four, damn near. With Asar Thompson gonna get better. You have Jalen Duren, who is already good. Jalen Duren's only 21. I forget how young he is, man, because Jalen Duren's what played in the league for like what 2 3 years, right? Am I bugging? Am I actually bugging? Yeah, he's played in the league for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he's playing league for 3 years, I mean, he's playing the league since he was 18, which you don't really see too much. And then you got a Sar who was just drafted, last year? Correct? Last year? Yeah, it was last year. He was just drafted last year, and he's already 22. You know, he's only played 1 year in the league. I know he's played two. I'm bugging. He was not drafted last year. Okay, I'm on crack. All right. Anyway, still, but yeah, I think you still have Cade, you still have Jalen Duren, you still have Sar Thompson. The only thing you're getting rid of is Jane Ivey, which is going to hurt a little bit, and Tobias Harris and Isaiah Stewart. I think that's a good trade for both teams. I think you upgrade each position, you get Dante Exum back in the trade as well, just because why the hell not? Let's see. Pistons. You got the Raptors. I think a Raptors trade is possible. I mean, if we look at their team here, they don't have so many young guys, right? And what they're really trying to build around is Scottie Pippen, or not. Damn, I'm tripping today. Scottie Barnes, all right? So this is something that you could do. You could do R.J. Barrett. I know he's lesser of Brandon Ingram. I think you could have Brandon Ingram. I always say this team has three small forwards because we're being honest here. Scottie Barnes, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, they all play a small forward spot, so it doesn't really matter to me. But you get RJ Barrett off the squad and Colin Murray Boyles. I know this is like, yeah, it's a young player. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for sure. But you do something like that, and then you give them like a 2027 first, something like this, like right. They get RJ Barrett, who's gonna be good for them. You give them Colin Murray Boyles, and honestly, I don't see why this trade wouldn't go through. I mean, you give them Anthony Davis, who, I mean, if you're the Raptors, you just move. If you're the Raptors, you move Scottie Barnes to the small forward, which I think he's better at this, playing the small anyways. move him to the small forward. Bi playing the shooting guard, which he definitely can. I think he's actually going to be a good fit at the shooting guard position. You don't have RJ Barrett on the squad. Grady Dick can play backup three or backup two, doesn't matter. Uh, you do get rid of Colin Murray Boyles, who is your four, but also like you get, or he's your backup four, but also you get Anthony Davis, who is also good. You know what I'm saying? That's always a good thing to look at. You got the Houston Rockets. I don't see this team doing anything. They got maybe a win now season in them. I don't know. The start of the season sucks, but you got maybe a win now season in you off of your starting lineup and who you got here. Uh, I don't know. I don't see the Spurs doing anything. I mean, they're good this year, right? I think you just stick with what you got. I mean, unless you do like a De'Aaron Fox trade, you could trade De'Aaron Fox and like Sohan, or De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes. I don't think you do Harrison Barnes. I think you do De'Aaron Fox and Sohan, and I wouldn't be too mad at that because let's be honest, Stephon Castle plays the point guard, Dylan Harper plays the shooting guard. You have Vassell at the small forward. I think Vassell would be a better small forward than you would playing the shooting guard, honestly. Put Vassell at the small, Dylan Harper at the shooting guard, point guard, trade. You know, I think Dylan Harper is good enough to start right now. And then honestly, it's just me being honest. Uh, don't see this happening. Of course not. I can somewhat see them trying to trade away Rudy Gobert. But then, like the thing is, I'm getting with this is like you got Anthony Davis and you got Julius Randle. Julius Randle can't play the three. He can't play the three. Jay McDaniels is playing the three. He can't play the three. He's undersized for a center, and AD doesn't want to play center. I just don't see the fit. You got the Blazers. I don't think the Blazers make any big trades unless it's for draft picks. You got the Warriors. You got the Wizards. Now this is the last trade that I'm going to say. And I think this is a slam dunk trade for not both teams necessarily, but I just want you to think about it, okay? Just stay with me, just think about it, okay? I think if you're the Golden State Warriors, you don't see a future. I know this sounds bad, but you don't see a future outside of Steph Curry. You want Steph Curry to win another ring, and you are very, very, very desperate to get him some help. Okay? With me saying that, this is how I can see a trade going. Okay? Draymond Green plays the center, works. Power forward, not Jonathan Kuminga, Anthony Davis. Small forward, maybe Moses Moody. I think you do Jimmy Butler, come bucket, because they don't want him in a first. A 2028 Warriors first. Maybe you don't even give him Kuminga. Maybe you just do two firsts. 2029 first, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis. Who says no? Do the Warriors, you know, be like, yeah, you know what? We want Curry to win one more. He needs a big man that's a star on the team. Let's get Anthony Davis. Let's be good for the next 2 years and see what we can do. Or do they say no? Do they say, actually, let's not even say the 2028 first. Let's say the 2030 because a 2028 first, I think Curry's still going to be playing. So 2030. They bite the bullet, say, yeah, we're getting rid of Jimmy Butler. You can move Jonathan Kuminga to the three. We could do, a lot of stuff rotation wise. We still get Anthony Davis. Jimmy Butler, he's good, but we got to get rid of him. We got to let him go. Jimmy Butler to the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. Jimmy Butler to the Dallas Mavericks, and we give the Dallas Mavericks 2 first-round picks, one that's in 3 years, another one that's in 4, because we know Curry's going to retire in 2. Curry's retiring in 2 and 3 years. Let's be honest. Okay? With him retiring in 2 or 3 years, Anthony Davis is literally the guy you would want to have. He's on a 2-year contract. He might be injury prone, but hey, Curry was kind of injury prone at one point. They got rid of Clay, the ankle injuries, all this. Between this trade right here, which I think is first off an amazing trade, and I see this trade happening in real life, and I see the Dallas Mavericks first off being scary. I see them tanking this year, all right? Like not doing the best, okay? Purposely. They don't want to do good this year. They got their own draft pick. They don't do good. Tanking this year. Next year they get Kyrie back. You got Jimmy Butler at the small, Kyrie at the point guard. Cooper Flag at our power forward. At our 2, you got Klay Thompson, and at the center spot you got Lively Gafford, whichever one you want to start. You can interchange those whenever. And now you got 2 future first round picks that are going to be absolutely amazing. This is a trade that you do. This is a trade they would do in 2K. I doubt it. They don't want to give up that many picks. Yeah, we're not interested in this trade. If you make it just 1 pick, I bet they still say no. We're not interested in this trade. Real life, they're interested in this trade. I'm telling you. Jimmy Butler, as good as he is not as big of a star as Anthony Davis whenever Anthony Davis is healthy. He doesn't give the same defense. He is very good at defense, don't get me wrong. He does not give the same defense that Anthony Davis does, especially at 36 years old. You get a younger player who is 32, but so 4 years more of time, okay? Somebody that is, on paper, better scorer, better rebounder, not as good at getting assists, better efficiency from not 3, but just field goal percentage, which you got Curry, you got Podge, you got Moses Moody to shoot all the threes you need. You don't really need them. So, boom, this is the trade. This is the trade to do right here. 2029 first, 2030 first, Jimmy Butler. That 2029 first and that 2030 first are going to be lottery first. I'm telling you right now, they're going to be lottery picks. You have Anthony Davis here for 2 years. I think you might have Curry for 3. I think Curry signs a 1-year extension. I think you have Anthony Davis come back on like a 3-year extension. Okay, after this. So Anthony Davis could probably retire when he's 37 on his contract. I don't know if he even makes past 35 with how his contracts or how his injury is. But shit, Anthony Davis, let's say he goes to 37. Okay, 36 maybe. You get a 4 years, get another 2-year contract. After that, it's done. You don't trade Draymond because Draymond and Curry absolutely love each other. You don't trade any young pieces because, let's be honest, the Warriors are going to be like, well, we're already trading away big draft picks here. Why would we trade away young pieces? Okay, good point. Good point. You don't need to trade away anybody. Their contracts literally match up exactly the same this year. 54.13 million. And you get 2 firsts back for somebody that's not as good. I would say Jimmy Butler's like an 86 overall. Real life. Okay, I know 2K says 88. I'd say he's more like an 86. I think he's around the same overall as Amen Thompson. Amen's like an 87. And I think Amen is a little bit more valuable because he's younger. Listen, Anthony Davis is 93 overall when he's healthy. Sounds about right. 93, 94. I think you do this trade. And I think this trade will absolutely break the NBA. I think that the Warriors shoot up to being a 3rd seed in maybe the West, possibly for the year. Maybe only team that's better than them. I don't see the Spurs staying the 1st seed for the whole year. I think they drop down to 4 or 5th. So I think I could see Thunder, Timberwolves, Nuggets maybe, and the Warriors. That'd be my top 4. Spurs up there, maybe in the mix a little bit too for the 5. But I think the Warriors would be at least a top 5 team in the Western Conference doing this trade for the next 2 years, and then possibly make it to the finals, possibly be a playoff team, possibly do this, possibly do that. It's all about possibilities, and if you're the Golden State Warriors, you're going to overestimate for sure. We got Jimmy Butler for free. You gave away Andrew Wiggins for Jimmy Butler, somebody that you already really plan on trading for a while, ever since the 2022 season, right? You got him for free. Now you're able to get what you got from a free asset and just a couple of picks for Anthony Davis. I think both teams say yes. I think the Mavericks absolutely dominate, and all the way up from 2028, maybe 2029, I think they're a good seed, and they get a good draft pick. 2029 all the way to like 2035. A good 6-year period where they're just absolutely amazing. All right. And if you're the GM, you're trying to get this deal on the table. You're definitely trying to get this deal on the table. With that being said, though, guys, if y'all like this video, this trade scenario, if you like videos like this, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I'm going to see you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.